Sunday, May 16th. Today on the Daily Review, we discuss a movie everybody's talking about from 1990 called Quigley, Down Under, starring Tom Selleck, Laura San Giacomo, and Alan Rickman. And if you look carefully, you can see a young Ben Mendelsohn. Today on the Daily Review. Cool. Daily Review. Quigley Down Under. I bet you weren't expecting this. This is a family film from the 90s, and it's a Western. And I guess it's like Indiana Jones would be a film in a similar vein, I would say. I didn't take notes on this movie. You know how I normally take these pages of notes. But in this, I just wrote a few little things down because I liked it so much. I was just so fully engaged. I was just like, yeah, this is great. This is like Maverick or something. The story is really simple. It's Tom Selleck. We'll call him by his name. Matthew Quigley, or as friends call him, Roy. No, he hates the name Roy. We'll talk about that later. And he's from Wyoming, and he's the best sharpshooter in the world. And he answered I guess a want ad, basically, to come to Australia to shoot wild dogs and dingoes to keep him off this guy's plantation. And so he sails all the way from Wyoming. They set up the character so well with just close-ups in the beginning. The opening is really good. They get right into the story, and it doesn't feel cheap, and you feel like you understand. They're like, this is a Western. It's fish out of water Western. Go. But they're not cheating, you know? It feels like, okay, yeah. We're going to get the character stuff through his actions as he is introduced to the people in Australia. We don't need to see every little thing, you know? Or we don't need to have people talk about it. We can see it through action, which I always say is the way you want to do it. So he gets to Australia, and he meets his group of people who are there to meet him, and they don't know who he is, and they get in a fight, and it's a great scene. And Laura San Giacomo is like, she's crazy. She's a twisted backstory, and she seems like a nutty, foppish lady of the night or something who hangs out with all these kind of crusty dudes and vagabonds. And the movie is basically, they get to Alan Rickman, and he's what he really wants is to get rid of deserters and to get rid of the Aboriginals and stuff, deserters from the British Army. And so that's not how Quigley plays the game of life, you know. He plays it straight. So obviously, no one throws me out of my own house. Alan Rickman is amazing. I even think he has the same line that he uses in Die Hard. I think he says, I'm getting quite annoyed with this McClane. McClane. Anyway, they get outcast. Laura, there's lots of stuff happens. I didn't take notes. I do remember it though. That's why I was like, I should do this because it's very bold. A lot of scenes come out in bold, you know. Where Laura, her name is Corey, and so Corey and Quigley are like out in the outback, and there's all that great Western stuff, like you know, Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, like kind of crawling through the desert stuff and doing the survival stuff and having to eat lizards, and like, you know, Aboriginals help them out, and then there's for a family film, there's a really dark and brutal scene where lots of Aboriginals get killed, and it's like pretty hardcore. I was like, geez, the 80s were, well, it wasn't 1990, but probably made in 89, right? Still, I was just like, dang, that would not happen in a family film nowadays, probably. Like, this movie would have like been R, I feel like, or definitely, what is it rated? It's got to be PG-13. Sorry, I don't usually look things up mid-show, but I think it's really important that we know what the rating of Quigley Down Under is. It doesn't have a rating. That's weird. 88? They had ratings on 88. It's 90. What am I talking about? That's really interesting. I can't find a rating on it. Because it's really interesting. If it would be PG-13, it would make sense. Oh, it is PG-13. Sorry. Okay. Yes. Sorry. I just couldn't find it. Yeah, Alan Rickman is amazing. Yeah, this is actually like a really, really good movie. Oh, sorry, Eddie. It's on Netflix. Son of a biscuit. But maybe it's on other stuff. I watched it on Netflix. It just randomly popped up. And it's by Simon Wincer, who directed Lonesome Dove, which is one of my mom's favorite movies, which was a miniseries. And I called it, what did I call it? I called it something else. I called it, not Lonesome Dove. Like, I forget what I thought it was. Whatever. It turned out she likes On Golden Pond. My mom likes way more stuff than that. Like the ones you know what? I'm doing this. I'm smacking my lips. It's because if you're ever doing a speech and you notice that, it means you're thirsty. And you're trying to create water in your mouth. That's why it's always good to have 1 micron of water to moisten your palate. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to say too much more about this movie because I genuinely think you should watch it. Just kind of go into it fresh because I didn't remember. I never saw it as a kid. I remember seeing it on the shelves. And 1990 is kind of like a weird time period where I wasn't really seeing movies in the theater because I was like 7 years old, or I wasn't going alone. So someone would have to take me. And Tom Selleck looks so cool in this, man. I know he's basically played this character his entire career. Like, he still makes movies to this day where he's basically this guy, but like, he's so masculine and attractive in this movie. Like, I've said this many times. I like ladies, but I'm straight enough to be able to look at Tom Selleck and go, damn, that's like a classic movie hunk, And he's got all the things. He's got all this charisma, and he's very like kind, but you can believe that he's powerful. I said something else, and I meant Lonesome Dove. Remember? And you were the one who were like, I think you mean this. She does like Lonesome Dove, but I said the Thornbirds. That's what I said, the Thornbirds. But yeah, she liked anyway, whatever. Lonesome Dove is about a nun, I believe. And the Thornbirds, I don't know what that's about. That was some trash, I think. That was like a soap opera. Anyway, the one scene that I really want to talk about is at one point he's trapped in a fire, like in a building that's on fire, and there's a fire, not a fire escape, like a light. What's that called? In the roof, in the ceiling. A ceiling window? A roof window? What is that called? A ceiling? A light? Oh my God, I've clearly lost my... Pierce Brosnan crossed over better than... Yeah, Tom Selleck, that's true. Well, Tom Selleck, he's too American, obviously, to be Bond, but he would have been that would have been a great take on Bond. This is like burly Bond guy. I think Tom Selleck, that character is not as popular. Actually, he did a Skylight. That's Jesus, doing too many things this morning. Plus, I'm going to have brunch with my mom. Oh, and I wanted to say, just give a little shout out to Eddie. I don't know, maybe he doesn't want me to do this, but he sent a gift card to the theater. And my mom and I are totally going to use it in our first movie-going experience back. So that was very special. And I just wanted to thank him. And you guys don't have to send me things. I'm not saying that I'm not flagging it up. I just wanted to credit where credit's due. It was a good little gift, and I enjoyed it, and I really appreciate it. Anyway, Quigley Down Under, man, this movie's badass, and Laura San Giacomo's awesome, and Alan Rickman's great. Yeah, and her and Tom Selleck have like Corey and Roy kind of have this amazing synergy. That's not the word I want to use, but they have a great relationship that you see develop and you believe it. And there's one point when he really hugs her and they do a close-up of Corey, and you can see this look on her face like, yes, I'm in love. I got him to love me, because he doesn't just love anybody, This guy's got meaning. And so if you can get the love of Quigley, He will take you down under. What? Okay. Yeah, that's all I really wanted to say about this. I want to watch it. Oh, I didn't finish saying the thing about the skylight, which is one of the whole reasons I wanted to review it. So he's in a place in a skylight, and he takes his gun. He's like, the gun is like a major character in the movie. In fact, it was so popular, this type of gun, that it like this breech loading, super long rifle or whatever that can shoot like 1,000 yards. It started selling really well, and they call it Quigley guns, and they're really popular in Australia and the United States simply because of this movie, which is amazing. And you have to have like special 45 caliber shells with 120 grain, whatever, and you're gonna custom make them and stuff, and all because of this movie. And they do make the gun look super cool. I'm not big into guns, but they're almost like, they make it like a character. It's great. So he smashes the skylight, and he sticks the gun like up and out and uses it as like a pull-up bar, if that makes any sense. Like he makes it as like and pulls himself up out of the building. And I was like, that is so clever and awesome. I love it. All right, what are you guys talking about? Oh yeah, Sex, Lies, and Videotapes. That's where you know Laura San Giacomo from. Excuse me. I think I've reviewed that, haven't I? I really love that movie. That's great. And that's Gotham, who I've had on several times. The guy I teach with, that's one of his cornerstone movies, you know. It's not that for me, but that was one of the movies I think he saw in grad school or in college and was like, I want to do that. Anyway, all right, I'm going to do some music. I sold some stuff, and then I'm gonna get more taxes back, so it's I don't have to sell as much as I thought I did. So I kind of started rebuilding this a little bit, but I started using this other module. That it's gonna be great. It's gonna be weird, but you're gonna like it. Oh yeah, it's great. Yeah, I think that Sex, Lies, and Videotapes. Yeah, I think it's got a kind of a second wind because Criterion just put it out. It's such a great movie. All right, here we go. Here's some music for you. That's the type of thing I want to be doing with the Eurorack. That's not even me doing that, so I can say that's beautiful. That's just the modules doing that. I'm just turning some knobs, man. I really like this new module I got, that it just samples random things randomly, and then you put that through all these effects and you get this kind of cacophonous randomness. It's so beautiful. Anyway, the Eurorack is back, man. Bernadette is on fire. Okay, yeah, watch Quigley Down Under, watch Sex, Lies, and Videotapes. No, Tom Selleck was not in Star Wars, but I think he was gonna be. I think he was. They were looking at him for Han Solo. He's got an interesting career. We'll do a whole Tom Selleck episode or something. Also, you know, I'm envious of his wonderful tash. Okay. Oh, thank you, Carl, for watching 1 in 100. It's the pilot episode. We're figuring it out, but you know, let me know what things I can improve. I think that maybe I should go through it once, because like when I watched it, that was the first time I'd ever watched it and did the commentary. I think I should probably go through a second time and kind of like in the quiet moments, or the parts where I'm just going, okay, that I just don't say okay or let it be silent, and then on a second pass I try and think of like an actual joke to punch in there. I think that would make it much better. But yeah, I don't know. Take it easy. Is there a Quigley Down Under sequel? I think there is. Or am I thinking of The Rescuers Down Under, which is the sequel to An American Tale? Huh? One of those. The Rescuers Down Under has an amazing opening sequence where they're flying on an eagle or something, or on a bird or something. All right. Which movie needs to be edited down? Oh, the movie yes, yeah. So that's one thing I was thinking. So 1 in 100, yeah, that I should kind of cut it down and make it like an hour, like cut 30 minutes out of every movie. That may be what I'm gonna do. I didn't do that initially because I thought maybe that we'd get copyright issues and they'd pull the movie, and then the only way it would be viable would be for you guys to download the movie or find the movie yourselves, and then watch, use my YouTube video just as the audio commentary. You get what I'm saying? And then that wouldn't work if it was all cut up, because then it wouldn't sync up, obviously. So I did think about that. Quigley high above. Quigley up and over. Okay. Quigley, The Empire Strikes Back. Okay. Bye. I love you guys. Have a wonderful Sunday.